Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of GrantSource Live. We have Lucia with Muvsic. Before we go to her, let's go to a couple of our sponsors. One, we have Russell Stover. For those of you that have that special gala, those offers, treats, or anything where you'd like to surprise your audience, Russell Stover has a special offer for our community to give you those delicious chocolates that you want. Go to the community offer section and you can get 15% off anything at the Russell Stover site. And we know communication is huge. So Ring Central will help you with all of your communication needs with soft phones. And they also do hardwired telecommunications at a special rate for our community. You can go under communication in our community offers section. Now, let's get back to Lucia. Lucia, after I butchered your company's name, I at least got yours. So, Lucia Garcia, thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
And you didn't butcher it. It's fine.
It is Muvsic.
Yeah.
With a V.
Muvsic. Yeah. It's
Okay.
kind of a mixture between movement and music.
Okay,
So,
I got you. Excellent.
yeah.
Well, we appreciate, and Lucia is coming to us from way down in Bogota, Colombia.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice. So I've been to Bogota. I've been up there
Yeah.
to Montserrat as well. Rode the train up to the top. Yeah, we had a good time down there.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
tell
it's
us,
a really
Lucia, how did you start? Tell us a little bit about your background. Where are you originally from, Bogota?
well. I was born and raised in a small town in the border with Venezuela,
Okay.
called Cucuta.
Okay.
Um, and then I moved to Bogota to come to university. And when I was studying in university, that's where I met my co-founders, and we came up with this weird, crazy dream to connect the world and bring more art into it. And that's what we're doing now.
I mean, art is incredible, and when you can bring people together, that's phenomenal. Now, was that one of your passions? What are you passionate about?
Well, yeah, growing up back in my hometown, I was part of the symphonic orchestra for the city.
Okay.
For about 6, 7 years, I played the flute. And my sister, she's a violinist and a singer, and there are a lot of musicians in my family. I also studied painting for a while. But then when I went to school, I actually studied advertising and communications, which, if you think really hard about it, may be another form of art, debatable, I don't know. Uh, but then, yeah, so I'm really passionate about creativity and about human expression and about connecting people and getting to know new people. And every person is an entire world on its own, and when we sort of move together, well, that's what makes the world that we actually live in, the earth, so amazing. And all the amazing things that we have achieved as a human species, it has come from collaboration. So yeah, I love that too.
Excellent. And
Yeah.
so your platform, tell us how to get. I know you met your founders and your co-founders at university. Were they artists as well?
Yeah. So my two co-founders they actually studied music like as a career in my university. And well, they met at class, and I met them through a group on of students, to a Facebook group actually, because they posted they were looking for somebody who knew about advertising and strategy, sorry, and things like that. And so I said, well, sounds interesting. Let's join the project. And so, yeah, we've been working together ever since. But yeah, they're sound engineers, and I'm a flutist, and our other partner, who's a lawyer, also from our university, he's also a singer. And so, yeah, music and art connects us all.
So I have to ask you about something interesting. When I met your CEO Mateo in California in Palo Alto, his
Yeah.
card says Caribbean oatmeal. So
Yeah.
help me out with that.
Yeah. So basically, when we were assembling the company, we said, well, what's everyone gonna do? You know, we had to uh, define what
Titles and
are,
roles. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, who's gonna do what, because we can all do everything, and it's not practical. And so when defining these roles, we run into these traditional titles that people use all the time. So like CEO, CMO, CTO. And we were like, well, what does it mean to be a chief executive officer? That's boring. And we said, well, let's be something funnier. Okay, you're gonna do the things that a chief executive officer does, but you're gonna be a Caribbean executive oatmeal while doing them. And me, for example, I'm gonna do the things that a chief marketing officer does, but I'm gonna be a chocolate Mondays doing them, you know. And also our CTO, he's not a chief technology officer; he's a cinnamon toast officer.
There
And
you go.
so, yeah,
Just
also,
keeping it
yeah,
spicy, right?
yeah, adding a little bit of spice, but also trying to keep us ourselves to stay creative and not take things too seriously.
And that's what your whole platform does. And that's a good segue. Help us understand the impact that you guys have created, because our audience, they're nonprofits, they're artists, there's musicians, they're performing for and putting on shows for certain audiences, right, to create an impact. So help us understand what your platform does.
Yeah, so what Muvsic does basically, what our purpose is to bring the creative industries and the creative communities together in one platform. And so, let's say you're a musician and for example, you're a guitarist and you need someone to sing while you play. And so you can reach out to a singer who's also needing somebody to jam with. And so we're trying to encourage collaboration and yeah, creativity and yeah, bringing people together to work, but most importantly, to bring more art and more beautiful things into the world.
And
That's our main mission.
arts and beautification of this world is what we all need.
Yeah.
But if you're an artist and you kind of did it with your co-founders and that's how they found you, you may know art, but artists may not know the other side, which is advertising and other things that they may need help with. And that's why you guys really came together, right? To help those artists get all the things that they don't know how and have expertise, but
Yeah, precisely. We realized that one big issue was that artists, they're sometimes too focused on their own art, and they forget when they trying to advance their career or to even share their message with the world, that there are other stuff that needs to get done only than besides than just, you know, drawing the picture or making the film or writing the song. You know, there are other things that need to be done to give that art a shape and bring it into the actual world. And that's when other professionals come into the mix. So you have, yeah, advertisers, you have lawyers, you have managers, you have all this other side that's more like the business, the industry side of the art. That's also really necessary. And so, yeah, what we're trying to do is, well, you can learn these things, or you can just find somebody who's willing to help you and who already knows these things. And that way you can both collaborate and, yeah, bring more beautiful things into the world.
excellent. And that's what we want to
Yeah.
see. And I like to ask every guest that's on, Lucia, how can our community help you?
Oof. Well, how can we help them? How can we all help each other? Um, well, basically, what we're needing right now, even more than the money, because we always say, well, money, it's everywhere, basically. Even if you really need it, you can just go to a bank. But that's not what we need. And we're talking about collaboration, and I think that's what's most important for us, to find people and to connect with people who believe in our vision and who see how big of an impact this project and this idea that we have, that maybe is a little bit too big for us, can actually make into the world someday. So yeah.
Well, and it is big. It's not, I mean, you're in Bogota, but in the US, in the UK, and I mean, this is a worldwide platform specifically for artists to bring their art to light, correct?
Yeah, precisely. The original idea was born when the Caribbean Oatmeal, the CEO, Mateo, he lived for some time in Thailand, and then he lived also in Canada for a while, and then he came back to Colombia. And he, as a musician, as a Colombian musician traveling the world, he had always thought that this lack of communication and lack of connectedness in the creative industries was only a Colombian problem. But then traveling the world and seeing, no, this is actually a thing that's happening everywhere. Well, let's fix it. And so, yeah, we're also really conscious of how this is a problem that's happening everywhere. And more than a problem, we say it as an opportunity. Actually, I shouldn't have said the word problem. I don't like it. I like the word opportunity. So yeah, this is an opportunity to change that and to bring more people together and to solve this. So yeah, it's definitely a global problem, but it also has a global solution. So that's why we're here.
Excellent. Well, we want to thank you for your time, Lucia, and the Muvsic team for being on our show today. There's a lot of different ways that you can contact them, but directly in our platform, in our app, you can find Lucia, you can find Mateo, and some of the incredible things that they've done for artists. Coming up on time, I want to thank both of our sponsors, Russell Stover and Ring Central, for sponsoring this show. I am the executive director and founder of GrantSource, where we help you find money for your mission. And the last thing I want to ask you, Lucia, what do you like about the GrantSource platform?
Well, I also like your mission. I think that's the most important for everybody and every organization, to have a purpose in life and to see beyond the obvious. And I think you guys are doing a great job at connecting people and building a better world with purpose. And that's the most important thing for me.
Thank you, Lucia. Well, you heard it from Lucia Garcia. And remember, it's not about the money. It's all about the impact. Y'all have a blessed day.